one map in LCQ when they qualified for champs, and it was Haven. And they lost 8 rounds in a row when they started on defense to a Neon comp. Is that some kind of foreshadowing? Is that what Xerxia have been looking at? Xerxia have obviously picked this map for a reason, but I don't think they would have been expecting the no duelist comp.
All the way up until they can get the stuns off. Mazzino falls, Delzik is down to him to try and anchor it to the back of the sights, but kills all over the place. There was an attempt as well to try and take a lobby control. I was taking some fast control at the back of the site, but he is shut down just as fast, and that is going to be Xerxia taking that pistol round.
Oh, what a pistol it was. Great idea, contacting all the way up C-Long and then exploding out with excellent trades. And the maps might end up playing so differently from Icebox to Haven. Like I said, it was the only map that Kru lost at LCQ, so maybe there's some kind of weakness there that's caused them to adjust their comp. But also, this is a historically awesome map for Xerxia. If you think back to last champs, it was an upset win over Envy, the current Optic, that got Xerxia into playoffs on Haven of all maps. And they had some amazing ideas right there. Do they have the same level of creativity with this one? Sushi Boy's coming through, and Nags goes down instantly.
Instantaneous punish, and they take it to space in the corner though. Mazzino will claim one before eventually the trade comes through, but a spam through the box there. Sushi Boys trying to make the most of this one, but with the rifles, more than an easy cleanup. And honestly, listen, I don't know if this is picking up, the players are screaming.
Yeah.
The energy is high right now for Xerxia.
I mean, coming off a 13-4 loss, any rounds that you pick up at the beginning feel like everything.
Yeah.
And the bonus round, they've used their economy fantastically. The same kind of FPX bonus round buy, sorry. Easy for me to say. And both of these teams are really good in the bonuses. That's what I said at the beginning of this match. Pistol rounds might mean everything here.
I mean, you can snowball the lead just that bit further. Rifle v rifles.
And Kru will be thinking about that 8-0 lead. But they went down against TBK.
In the corner, that does force back the rendezvous, but guess what, Kesnet?
On the fade.
Yeah, on the fade, by the way. Crouched, was watching the angle still. It's not going to be pushing back, Xerxia. In fact, they still want to be trying to take this one. You can see the paranoia, all the utility being chucked into the back of the site. What is that spray down?
That's so good.
Bullets just landing exactly where he needed it, but Kesnet is still being a thorn in the side of this setup. Eventually goes down, and there is no return fire from Mazzino. He tried to supplement it, he tried to help out his teammate, but just down to Delzik now.
Planted.
And Delzik has no chances here. It's another bonus round. These teams are so good at them. And Xerxia's execute was beautiful.
Yeah.
Sushi Boys runs his way down, uses those stuns to force a rendezvous out of Nags, who goes up onto a different pillar and then gets hit by a paranoia.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just cascading utility
Paranoia,
that Xerxia was providing.
Yeah.
Grouped up those players for the spray down. Surf got 3 kills, essentially off the back of excellent utility usage on their execute. And the Kru players, like I said, Brent, their thoughts are going to be going back to that map that they lost in LCQ, where they started 8-0 down against a Neon comp.
Listen, a composition like this can be good. The Kru is playing is slowing down a lot of these Neon comps, but often it's an unconventional comp the Kru are playing, and I think it's one that they're not going to be necessarily probably used to playing. Neon has been played on Haven every now and then.
Certainly.
Teams have gone through phases of playing it. I mean, Optic went through it.
Zeta we saw playing it as well. The theory is there. We know that Neon is good on this map, and it's going to make so much space for Surf as well, who's currently 7-1. Sushi Boys doesn't actually have to frag that hard in order to do his job, and that might be good because he's having a bad tournament so far. But if he can do his job correctly, he doesn't actually need to be hitting his shots as much.
Real potential for that 4th round, especially with the spray down, the fire in line. Watching all of them. Smokies drop down in time, that does push them back. Trailblazer. They get destroyed, they have to be aware that there could be a player close. He's going to be clearing this one. Aftershock and the paranoia into the corner. Delzik is left so unaware. Not a clue in the world of where they were playing at, and now just Klaus in the back of the site. See if he can anchor it. Stinger in play. Only 20 bullets, but he does make it work at the end of the day. But the high ground position to Scary's playing more than enough to deal that final blow.
And the trades, the executes, they're looking like too much for Kru to deal with.
They haven't even used this rolling thunder that they've got. I mean, this has been built up like 2 rounds ago.
So far, so good for Xerxia, but we've got another economic swing round heading up now in round 5. Nags pulls out the operator. He's the player that opts the 4th most in the tournament. Loves getting an op into his hands. That's a big game plan for Kru. Nags is going to take it down mid. Playing there with Klaus, the IGL for the team.
No players there.
And you're right, Xerxia are just not in that area in the slightest.
One of the things that you are missing when you don't play the Raze in the composition that Kru have is there's no Seize Nade combo to try and offset any early A lobby control.
And in fact, Kru are not even fighting for A lobby control on any of these rounds.
Whoa! No way!
The Rolling Thunder!
How the hell did that happen? Kessnet just got pushed forward.
He got launched forwards.
And then the flash doesn't even do a thing. Sushi Boy's already into the site.
And it feels like the entry is just helping him so much more. Look at them
toying with him. They're toying with him. Is this the same team that we've just watched on Icebox? The same team that just got absolutely devoured?
I don't think they're mentally the same team.
I mean, what happened? Who did it get replaced with?
Perhaps a bit of a lesson in how much maps can make the difference, but it is still early days here on Haven. But clearly, Xerxia with all the confidence in the world.
And look at it. Jumping around! Oh my god! Okay.
Do you want some raw fish now, Achilles?
Yes, he screams from across the venue. Delzik is going to look to see if he can save this rifle through.
And he's picking up frags. I mean, he got 2 with the Stinger in the prior round as well, but it's all just damage control. Yeah. It's not actually influencing the results.
Yeah, it's going to remove the weapons, but at the end of the day, there's more than enough money on the side of the Xerxia players to be able to buy.
And let's talk a little bit about the tools that Kru have to stop these execs happening, right? Yeah. Paranoia. Delzik didn't even get a chance to use it in the previous round because they're not hitting the site where the Omen is playing. I mean, let's look at this replay first, though, because that is so unfortunate for Kessnet. The exact wrong time. Or Kru are going to be running with a somewhat similar defensive setup, although Kessnet moving away from A, now to Garage. And a double up on B, which is a site that Xerxia haven't gone for just yet.
No, not really too many attempts towards it, but they do have players in Crossfire, including Kessnet, who is holding at the back of Garage. He will be able to get into position, but it's pinged out. Positioning's known from Klaus. Angles are being watched. The smoke, just to push them back.
Flash there, a bit of spam as well as Xerxia try and make it feel like there's a lot of presence towards B and Garage, when instead they slink off. And without any A lobby control from Kru, they're happy to contact all the way forwards here.
Yep,
not worried about a thing. And that's one of the problems with Kru's attempt and approach to this map. Just giving Xerxia this control. Look at Nags up top.
Timing becomes everything here, Nags. Oh, still claims the kill. In fact, look at this. Vizino's in the back as well, but Rifles eventually wins out. Just there. This is a close position, a risky position to play from Scary.
Yeah, it's a very bold move. No need to go for that one, but he still doesn't get punished.
Is there a faster play that might be attempted there, at least with the horn, but Prowler's going to get destroyed. Delzik just hold down this angle just in case. It's a pre-fire attempt, but well, Kessnet is watching his back. Now the Paranoia, flick of the wrist. What is that? Paranoia is going to be whiffing there, but a Seize does latch onto him. Decade down to 1 health. TP's away though, and now time is running low. Kessnet, all to do right now. Decade slowly coming online, but Scary, the shot is found. What a Red Bull clutch.
So many clutches that Scary puts on the board for this team. His clutch rate's absurd. He won one of the only rounds that they got together in the first half on Icebox. And like I said, even when Xerxia was struggling against Xset, their clutch rate was through the roof. Kessnet does such a good job with the Stinger there. And Scary's barely got any health.
Yeah, 1 shot essentially will bring him back.
Look at the difference in reaction from Xerxia. Map 1 compared to map 2. Absolutely fired up.
I mean, they were just dejected. They were making so many mistakes at the tail end of Icebox. Completely different team though. Short break, a different map, a different game plan, a different comp.
Icebox is tough on silly men. Men filled with joyous whimsy. But Haven. Haven is the home. What is this play?
You've got to be kidding me!
There's no
You
way.
are just going to disrespect the smoke, and he finds the dino! Oh my goodness! Sidesteps one way to the next.
And now the panic sets in.
Yep, Fox is whiffing every shot, and Kessnet takes him out. Oh my goodness.
I don't think I've ever seen a player with the ability to get behind the enemy team so often. And yet he just seems 50-50 on the win rate.
Yeah, well, it's looking almost certainly wrapped up as far as rounds go for Kru. Say no though, scary in the clutch. Listen, a 1v5 would be quite the tremendous thing. Quite a difficult task. Fake TP, just to keep the opponents guessing. They are slowly creeping up onto his angle. And that's a round on the board for Kru, necessary.
A necessary one, but also such a strange one. Going massively off script there. Xerxia trying to use the information and the conditioning that they've developed in the first 6 rounds to get Fox into an absurd spot. Look how good this lurk is. Yeah. And then, is he robbed? Does he just win?
Listen, we can give that safe haven segment another go.
Nice.
We can bring it out again.
There have just been so many times that Fox is behind somebody in this tournament so far, and he's delivered as often as he's failed, it feels. 6-1 up. And we've got ourselves a timeout here. You can see the economy looking great for both teams. A lot of decent ults to play with too. Kru specifically with a null command on Klaus, which could make all the difference in shutting down one of these site hits.
Oh, frozen in time?
Yep, just a very short pause there. Just a very short pause, but we are straight back into the game.
That works.
And honestly,
if that one round is going to be enough, Josh.
The default game plan is working for Xerxia.
Also,
you know, they tried something a bit funky, but keep it simple.
That one round, though, the Kru got, that can often be the tipping point to try and find that.
0 point thrown, and immediately people start rotating to C. They think it's a C push.
Okay. Or did the util just come through? And, well, okay, nags it. Gonna take the fight, why not? Rewarded with it, gets the kill onto Serve, a big target to find. In fact, the trademark as well, latching onto the feet of a couple of the targets.
Getting Messino down very weak as well.
Yeah. The Seekers do buy them space, though, so they were given free reign. Able to get space now into the post plant.
Look at how Sushi Boys is setting up here to fight with Scary. They know that there's going to be a null command coming in, so they want to force the fights early on.
And these shots, they can try and defend it down one after another. Kru's
with 5, but not the ace.
Not the ace.
Oh, what a round.
That is, yeah, in a blink of an eye.
What a round.
Smoke dissipates. And a decision is made to use the res here, commit it, and they think, okay, well, we'll double face, we'll defend the body. No, you're going to get triple faced.
What? That's a round to get you pumped up like no other.
I gotta say as well, I am so glad that the energy is back for Xerxia here, because off the back of that first map, I thought it was just going to be done and dusted.
And so, it turns out it wasn't 8 rounds in a row from Kru. Or rather, the Kru lost, but 7-1 is also a terrible beginning. Hey, Nax continues to deliver, and they've got the first 2 picks. Is that going to be enough? Or is Scary going to work his magic on the lurk again?
Not just Scary, look at this. They have crawled their way all the way up, and just a slight adjustment to the aim. That's Surf finding his target. Teleport away, right wide open into their spawn. Committing this one.
What an absurd ultimate.
And now the entirety of Kru is going to be left guessing. They're like, okay, where is that ultimate?
And this is going to burn so much time off the retake. Because Kru have to respect it.
Yeah. Scary's backstab here could be absolutely everything for them. But did they respect it enough timing? And it is being watched for. Kesnit's there. Spray down. Damage done. Messino is low. Eventually returns the kill. Player's being dropped down to the floor. The wall's up, but not enough portions broken. It's being diffused in the face. At the end of it, Kru, the player swinging through to defend them.
Kru get a second on the board. Getting the res back online for Klaus as well. But this has been a very rough half. Can they find the recovery? 5 rounds might be enough, but I've still got questions about how this no duelist key is going to function on attack.
Yeah.
Kesnit is normally their entry player, and he's playing Fade. How is this going to work?
It does feel odd.
Kesnit's still top fragging for the team as well, but in a very different role. He's 7-9, and on Icebox he was 20-6, whilst playing character, KO, that definitely can get involved in tons of the fights. Here's an A-lobby fight. Haven't seen too many of these from Kru.
Paranoia that was sent flying through to try and disrupt this one with the fast lane as well. A bit of spam will do the job nicely. Kru's fall is a big target because now that Rolling Thunder is not going to be available. No ultimate. Any sort of exec that might have been planned. A presence is being shown here by Xerxia, making sure that they fire off a couple of bullets, just keeping sure that the players are locking down, anchoring it, making sure that they hold their ground here. They could choose to pivot.
Xerxia know that there's 3 players anchoring this site. They've seen 3. But they don't have anybody else in position to pivot back to. That flash into mid grabs a bit of information. They know that there's nobody on the fast push. But they're also trying to indicate that they're moving away. And this will end with an A re-hit. Keznid, Zeno, they start to move away. But come back as soon as they see Surf.
Yeah, I mean, they've set up. Fox actually is taking his own initiative. He's working his way around mid, but it looks like the spike will be ending at A. That is the goal.
I mean, I'd much prefer Fox to be using his utility to fake this push instead of his body.
30 seconds left.
It's contact off. Flash around the corner. Lovely little play there. Fox does respond with his own flash.
He's pulled everyone away. It's only Delzik here, but the other 2 players are just behind the wall.
Yeah, and the wall is just no. Okay, breaking down a portion of the wall. The stray bullet finds its mark, maybe unintentional.
10 seconds.
The overdrive popped off now. That spike is going to get planted. It's not going to be denied. Fox has to run his wee little legs all the way back over there to try and help out the rest of his team because it is still at 3v4 and he is weak. It's all about this retake now. How are Kru going to be choosing to take this one? Close, a slight adjustment of the movement. Sushi Boys is dealt with easily. Done! And Scary left alone. Last player standing. Close to default. Not enough. He was being overwhelmed.
And Kru are finally being able to get these retake setups working. The composition has a lot of utility. They can be good in these kind of situations, but they weren't even allowed to get them online previously. This round is so bizarre. I mean, there is no world in which Sushi Boys intended to get that kill.
It's unintentional.
Absolutely accidental.
It's ridiculous, actually. Okay. If that ended up playing a part in them winning a round, I don't know what I would say.
Because you can see Klaus potentially looking for a duel, or is he just throwing a 0 point? It is just the knife.
Okay. It was a haunt and a slow orb and the paranoia.
But that got so much information.
Yeah.
And for one of the first times, it's actually given Kru a lobby control. A very different dynamic here.
They haven't really pushed up for any information, they're just holding it. And it comes down to this B hit that is honestly about to clash here. The fault line. Flash, the stuns, everything's just being dumped into that left connector. And Klaus, as he is forced to reposition and avoid and duke all of it. He does pay for it with his life. So the plant is down now. It's going to have to be that retake from Kru. With the operator in the hands of Nagset becomes difficult.
They've left Surf in backside. He's got a good rendezvous set up.
This is it. This is the shot there. Still Mazzino gets Surf. Another pressing the advantage here. Want to move forwards over this. See if they can take any sort of space. Walls up, and that is in a good position for it. The Rolling Thunder across. Does disrupt that defuse for about a moment, but Mazzino gets right on it once more. Aftershock, that's from Garage. The angle's there, and shots are being found. Fox, he's worked his way in, but it is half on it. Sticking it through Mazzino, he lets it go. And it's just him against the world. The running and gunning half on it. He's forced it into Scary. Does he have enough time? The answer is no.
What an incredible attempt by Mazzino. But the utility usage, gorgeous by Cruz. He got the Rolling Thunder off to knock Mazzino off at the beginning, then an aftershock to stop the full stick happening. And Mazzino plays this beautifully, but he just doesn't have the time on the clock.
Yeah, it's just dragged off when it comes to the time.
Mazzino has just been astoundingly good in these situations, but it wasn't good enough. And Xerxia have won the round that allows them to still fight for a 9-3 lead.
Really critical.
Are we going to see back-to-back 9-3s for opposing teams?
Just absurd. Fox is alone with this one with the Trailblazer coming through, but it seems to be a split now into Garage. Trademark off to the side. Fragment Nate doesn't actually do enough to stop any of these players. Xerxia is still making their way through, wading through all this utility with the Aftershock as well. Now they're contacting in, trying to cut the noise, but the players are already holding. Mazzino's there with the rifle. Klaus swings into the side of it with the Nightfall scattered across. Xerxia still are able to collect a couple of kills, but it's down to just the 2 players. And the spike is not down.
Kru are backing up though.
Last player standing.
Oh, well, apart from Mazzino, who goes for this one. But playing the 4v2 or now 4v1 retake, definitely the percentage play. And Mazzino cleans this one up. It's an 8-4 lead for Xerxia.
4 rounds.
A massive hold on.
That is the question. Can they hold on and carry this forwards into that map 2 win? Into that eventual map 3? It's a sizable lead, but we've seen teams throw these leads before in the past. And I am wondering, how is this composition from Kru going to be working now that they're moving over to that?
But already 5 of those. We talked and talked about how important the pistol rounds are. And for Kru, this is a very unusual composition to be running on Haven here. What have they got for a 0 point? And a Haunt being used instantly there from Klaus and Kesnet. And it looks like they're going to pivot. Already Xerxia looking to read it, but the flash got the wrong info.
Cover going out.
Didn't actually tag onto anybody, so that's going to be kind of a bit of false information, I think. But shots being fired, spammed up, and contact play to try and work their way into these angles. Kru watching either side of it, wall over the top, and it is a high ground. Swing position being played into, but with the aftershock, it is immaculate. Kru's great anchoring.
That's so good. Sushi Boys gets the stun off as well, and so contributes to both of those 2 kills. And now Kru have to scramble. There's a lurk play going on towards Garage. Can Delzik open things up by contacting through? Xerxia are really responding well to this.
And they are just so aware of the possibility where the players could be. It's a cleanup for them.
And what an
losing to one player, and yeah.
I mean, the desk was talking about it. Mimi said that when you're running this no duelist comp, or really any comp that has a Sage in it, on Haven, you've got to expect these B hits to be coming through. And Xerxia expected the B hit to be coming through. Cruz was ready to swing off the back of the stun, throw his aftershock out there, and they ruined anybody trying to use that Sage wall.
Yeah. You can't play on top of it with the aftershock in your way. You can't play behind it.
And that is a devastatingly good pistol round from Xerxia. They've managed to pick up both of them now in this map. And we talked about how good they are on the bonuses.
Oh, that's a lot of pace being injected into this one. There needs to be sort of return on fire. Kru! They've somehow come up on top when it comes to
and that's
kills.
They got the guns as well.
Shots being rattled. 1-2. Fox with the ghost. Flash inside of the smoke. That's going to be causing a bit of chaos as well. The players are so... What is that?
Spikes here.
They don't need the guns.
Josh, I mean, what have I just witnessed? Fox is just alone. Kitchen sink being chucked at him in the corner. He's being swarmed by players here. There is no world in which he's able to get this much value with the ghost. Look, he's 10 health. There's a slow up at his feet.
Yeah, that's not poorly played by Kru either. Obviously, they have poor weaponry, but every player is trying to double face, trying to trade there from Kru. And that's how they got the first couple of kills. And that also has to be what they lean so heavily on in order to make this recovery even possible. The trading's got to be immaculate here with the no duelist comp.
Spoken numerous times now over the course of the series about these bonus rounds for both of these teams. They've been good at them.
They've been excellent. And Surf has his operator over on C. Trademark watching Scary's back. And he provides a smoke to make it feel like there's somebody over at the B side. There's no one there.
True, a bit of spam. Maybe just trying to elicit a response, possibly.
Look where Cruz is positioned right now. He has Aftershock fault line to make it seem like he's playing in the B connector and actually still apply pressure on B. So even though there's no one there on the B site, Cruz and Scary both making it look like there is.
This is such an odd angle to play, though. He's only got a Spectre. He's not favoured at these long sight lines. Is he going to be able to get out?
He got a headshot.
Not a lick of damage. On himself, at least. He wants to fight this again. You've got to be kidding me.
I mean, this is inadvisable, I would say.
The man's still posted up on this angle. Is it going to be cleared? Yes. It's going to be watched there. I mean, question marks running through my brain.
Slightly inadvisable, for sure, but Xerxia now with pretty good information, and there's 30 seconds left. 3 players anchoring the site.
And this angle is just disgusting to try and play around. Fox has already claimed the kill off of it, and he's got the Seekers inside the smoke. This is why you're seeing these players spam it one side and another. They do deal with Sushi Boys, but it's down to Klaus, and he knows positioning.
Teleport's ready.
He's so weak.
Seconds in the round. He's so weak, a single shot will do it.
10 seconds left.
He's just backing away. He's saving. He's saving Josh.
That's what you have to do here. It's another bonus round that's been converted. These two teams are just immaculate at them. Absolutely.
It's just been so back and forth, one-sided on either side. You don't see this often. We'll see though. This is a all-in investment Kru.
Oh, and look at this.
All the money's being spent.
You got Sushi Boys faking, well, he is pushing down C, but faking like there's a lot of people there, trying to drive people into the stack on B or Surf's operator. And they almost walked into Surf's more for a moment. There are just traps all over the map. The only safe avenue for Kru is to head towards that C site where there's a solo Neon.
Sushi Boys will be able to slow it down for about a moment. He is worried about that C long push. You can see the positioning on the minimap where he's just constantly pacing back and forth, having to watch that one angle.
Yeah, they heard the conks go down there. They heard the Suns.
He does feel uncertain with the position he's playing here. That deep flash gets some great information, though. And it has dragged players over towards Garage. This could be good here because you can see where the spike is leaning on the side of Kru for that A hit, but was one player who might be able to shut it all down. It's Surf. Operator in his hands. Oh! The offset of the movement, just ever so slightly, it does force that one to go back. And Surf doesn't get rewarded with the kill. A lot of spam going his way. You are brave to keep spamming it from that angle.
I have
Xerxia now with the opportunity to pull off a retake of their own. The Neon comps gonna struggle a little bit, especially with the wall in their face. They really need to break this wall, but everybody is in heaven.
They're not gonna all go out of heaven, are they?
Oh, is this the stun lineup?
Surely not.
Doesn't look like
They
it.
go for it. Guys to the side, they TP into their own smoke, they die, they glide across the map. What is occurring? Sushi Boys has claimed 2, and it is chaos. Cruz has got the operator in his hands, but there's a wall in the way.
If only they had broken that Sage wall. That retake looked so cool.
That was very doable if that wasn't in the way.
The movement from Sushi Boys was awesome.
Slid off of the default box.
Yeah, he fast ran out of heaven, which means he gets to default, and then he hits the slide once he hits the default box, goes through a smoke, and pops out the other side, I believe, with a flash. Or with a fault line.
Yeah.
Something of that description. And that was clearly very orchestrated. I'm sure we're going to see it again. Part of the Xerxia playbook is going to be to go for this. Take a look at this movement by Sushi Boys.
I can't see a thing.
You can't even see a thing, but I promise you, he hit the default box and glided.
Nobody can see a thing.
one enemy remaining.
You ever seen a 5v5 blind retake?
Yeah. God almighty. Okay. There's the 5th one for them, though.
Where are you?
Xerxia's still in prime position to take away this map, of course.
And going for that same push down C long with Sushi Boys.
Angle from Surf here. Really aggressive. You can hear all that utility being used. He knows that there's going to be a player crossing into his sight lines. Claims his reward for sticking around. Eventually, they'll back away. He wants to get back onto that angle. And while all this is going on, okay.
And here it is, the heavy hitters turning up for Kru, finding those opportunities in the scrappy moments where the team needs it. Kesnit is just trying to take A on his own.
Yeah, I mean, the man's just walked all the way through there with the Nightfall, only latched onto the one player. There is positioning for him. That smoke, he's missing. Still, they collect the kill. Doesn't matter.
And Xerxia do not have the bodies to go for this retake. They're going to have to pump the brakes here. Chill out. And next round, their economy is not in a great spot. So keeping these two Vandals will add a bit of venom that is sorely needed. We saw Kru, when they played their opening match against FPX, throw away a 9-3 lead. Xerxia up massively after winning the bonus round. Cannot allow the same fate to happen to them.
They're playing this discipline. Make sure they hold on to their rifles. And you're right, Josh. You can't let it slip away, these leads that you've been building up.
Nothing is free at Champions.
No. Every single team is going to be making you work for every single round. It's the most competitive tournament that we've had yet.
Where are you?
In terms of global competition.
And part of the reason why I think both of these teams have had a worse year compared to 2021, the competition always steps up. It always gets harder. Like I said, both of these teams are in the same spot.
Terminus.
Surprise playoff teams in 2021, searching desperately for glimmers of that former glory that has evaded them all throughout this year.
All throughout 2022.
Only a single global series win for each of these teams in 2022.
Far cry from what they achieved prior, but already seeing the pace injected into it. A-Lobby controller flash into mid, forces, again, a teleport out of Surf. Has to back away, but this is really quite dangerous now for Kru. You want to be putting all the pressure on all the players, still trying to hold behind the box, but they just cannot stand up to it. The crossfire is too much. Even with the poor weaponry, the overdrive is enough.
Xerxia have broken the back of Kru here.
Oh boy.
Nags as well getting headshot.
Trailblazer's gonna go. He was low enough to go down, but a shot through the wall does a significant amount of damage. But at this point, where's gonna be the face? There it is. From every single angle. Nags has got nowhere to run.
And it's map point for Xerxia.
Match point.
Off the back of a rough buy.
What
a half buy
series.
with a couple of Vandals.
Yeah.
And sure, this map hasn't been as dominant as map 1, but it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
It feels like Kru are out of it completely.
Enemy remaining.
Just not having the tools to repel an A lobby push. Every plan that Xerxia has is working perfectly. And at this point, what can you do? Can Kru win 6 rounds in a row to force OT? Not with how they've currently been playing.
No. They do have good ultimates to carry into this one though, but it has to be done here. This round, no more buffer zone. That map point for Xerxia. And slow and steady with the attacking protocol, making sure that they're nice and spread. Holding for any pushes, and speaking of pushes, look at Surf creeping and crawling up on the angle. Timing. Once more. Oh, it's absolutely everything. Removed away, and it's just finding it. Nagset. Lucky to find it, I think.
But Nags has also been in so many of these positions. A fifth of the time he picks up an op on attack. He's always attack opping, so he knows how to play these angles.
Cover going out.
Lure his opponents in. And what a slow, patient round from Kru. A far cry from what they've been doing on some of these other rounds.
Yeah. Not letting themselves, I think, feel the pressure of the map point. Obviously now this player advantage is going to be holding a pretty significant advantage, I think.
And this retake faces another Sage Wall, and this time Xerxia are getting through it. And they have a Rolling Thunder to work with as well.
Where is this going to come through now?
Is this going to be the same kind of setup?
That's the question. Flash over to through. That's onto the corner. The C's! It latches onto them. Fox just couldn't quite hit the ground. Fully inaccurate. And it has thrown so much chaos into the mix. Kru take them down as easily as that. And they claim their 7th round.
Despite the Rolling Thunder being available there, that round from Xerxia, it just doesn't look anywhere near as coordinated a retake.
It was awkward for Cruz to use it.
Yeah.
There was so many of his teammates within the sightlines of it. If he let that rip, look at that seize.
What a great seize from Kesnit.
That
What
is
a fantastic
amazing,
seize.
actually. Yeah.
That's broken.
I'm not sure. Yeah, not even sure if that's I've seen it a couple of times where you see seizes like that, and it looks, I mean, it just looks like a bungee cord, essentially, of just people just dangling. But it means you're just not accurate.
Yeah,
you can't hit the ground.
I would say absolutely intentional. Given how Xerxia performed their retake last time, all coming from heaven, definitely thought through by Kesnit.
Really smart.
He's smart, and here it is. The Rolling Thunder used in such an unconventional way.
The players are pushed into really difficult angles. It's the aftershock, breaks it up. Stun as well, one after the other, and this could be it. The final blow is necessary. Nags has lurked and worked his way deeper into the mat. Deltic tries to just ult and take the spike in a different direction.